field of bioethics. To our knowledge, in globally, UNESCO chairs on bioethics were already established, maybe as many as 13. And so we are going to be the 14th. And we believe we will be the first in the Asia Pacific region. Yeah, the dots for Indonesia is just coming up now. Yeah, so we are there in the Asia Pacific region. So we are going to be, we believe we are the first in that area for UNESCO chairs on bioethics. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are waiting for the slide to load. I believe after this is about the project title. Yes, thank you. So what we decided to highlight for the project, because it's a 4 years project, 4-year long project, we are going to make sure that we work to accelerate bioethics development in Indonesia and Asia Pacific, because we believe the importance of networking and collaborating. It would be impossible to develop and accelerate bioethics development without working together hand in hand. So we believe if we do the work in Indonesia, it's going to also make contributions in the Asia Pacific. So we really do hope that we can work together with any bioethics units or teams here in Asia Pacific and of course globally. And so as we have mentioned that we will probably be able to start in 2020, but all of the work for the bioethics development at the Center for Bioethics that we are doing now is still continuing. And so it's just a matter of time and a formal documentation where we can label our program as included in the UNESCO Chair on Bioethics of UGM. So the chair holder that already approved by the UNESCO is in line with the encouragement for women leadership. We believe that Prof. Yati Sunarto is the candidate and the one person that suits this criteria very well, with her background and expertise and also contribution in science development and the impact on the society and health as really unquestionable anymore. So we believe that her leadership fits well and will take this project into a better result later in the future. And as an executive unit, so the Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities at Faculty of Medicine would be maybe serve as the core executing unit or team, but we will be working together with other units in the university, the faculty, and as well as national level and regional level. And so why do we believe that we need to work on accelerating bioethics is because of the situation and the need. So in our context where we all are aware about the rapid growth of science and technology, the interaction of human and society, it's bound that the science and technology development will bring consequences for humanity. And it is foreseen that it is going to make the rise of the bioethics issues. And in our context, Indonesian, where we are a diverse society, the complex dynamics and interaction in variety of aspect in life is also a potential for conflicts to rise. And this require multidimensional or bridging approaches. And here we believe that bioethics have the role and have the contribution to participate to bridge the need, the dialogue, and the communication between societies. And so the bioethics discourses and approaches is a very fundamental need here in our context. However, we do acknowledge that there's gap in responding to the need, in which the bioethics expertise and development pace in Indonesia, or maybe in Asia Pacific, is not yet as expected or not yet keeping up with the pace or the speed of the growth, science and technology and the society dynamics. And so the bioethics development is, in conclusion, need to be accelerated. Next slide. And we see the opportunity, the momentum that also going to support our project is that the bioethics relevance or contributions are in line with the SDGs. Recommendation number 4, specifically about ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So the domain of this project is also in accordance to the 2014 and 2021 midterm strategies of UNESCO especially the sixth strategic objective, in which promoting ethical principles and inclusive social development. And last but not least, we do see the need of Indonesian Medical Education Act mandating the bioethics education for health professionals. It's also one of the fundamental opportunity or momentum that propels our effort in pushing forward for this acceleration of bioethics. Next slide, please. And we believe that our modality here, because we are in UGM, the Universitas Gajah Mada, our root and role as the nation's first university established by Indonesian government, we believe it will be advantageous for us to move forward with collaboration and networking and also engaging with the community and the nation. And our Center for Bioethics, we do have experiences in contributing for bioethics development in Indonesia, which we can see in the milestones. Next slide, please. Here we can see the progress of the contribution of the center, and also working collaboration with the UNESCO is already a long-term relationship. So starting in 1997, working together and collaborating with the Harvard faculties, Prof. Byron and Prof. Marijo, our lifelong partners in the bioethics, and until now that we succeed in being accepted as the UNESCO Chair on Bioethics of UGM is also related to the long-term connection between our center, especially by Prof. Nartos appointed as the IGBC UNESCO in 2003, and also as IBC UNESCO Paris, one of the 36 members in the world in 2006. So it's a very a good opportunity and modality for us to push forward, and this makes us very confident in pushing forward our objectives to be realized. Next slide, please. And so the objectives of our UNESCO Chair project that we will do in the 4 next years, we will focus on these 4 areas where we are going to accelerate the growth of bioethics education in the higher education context through the integration of education across disciplines and the postgraduate program expansion to international level. We will talk about this. We will mention after this the details of the program, but the area of objectives, the first is in higher education, and then the second, accelerating application of ethical research. So in the field of research, we believe that it will start from the UGM, but we are going to continue to the national level for advocating the ethical research. And then we also believe that fostering the community empowerment and public awareness on bioethics issue is also going to make a huge issues and importance, where we wish to enable the public accessibility to ethics support and services. And then the fourth area is to ensure the sustainability of the bioethics institution itself. So we hope to strengthen the Bioethics Center of Excellence to sustain the bioethics growth in Indonesia and Asia Pacific region. So the project summary, we are going to integrate bioethics education into various studies at higher education or university level. The second area, we are going to apply the research ethics in every field of studies. And the third, we are going to empower the community through bioethics related issues. And then the fourth, we are going to ensure the bioethics institution sustainability. So that's basically the summary of our project activities. So here we are sharing a glimpse of our program in higher education area. We plan to strengthen the bioethics education in medical schools in Indonesia. So this is an already ongoing activities and contribution from our center. But through this bioethics UNESCO chair, we hope to strengthen further that we also reach the national level to make a standard of competence or formulation of bioethics for health professionals. And then we're going to also promote bioethics education for various disciplines at UGM. And the third, we're going to push for the internationalization of bioethics master program at UGM, which we already have now, and We are currently at our third year academic, third batch, and we are hoping that in the future we are going to be able to open the international class for this master program. And then we can continue to the research area. We are going to promote research ethics for researchers from any disciplines, not just health discipline. But we also have the mandate, we also have the request that we need to support the development of research ethics committee at various disciplines at university level. And then we also plan to provide ethics support initiative for strategic research project. And we plan to also improve research on bioethics related issues. So this is actually the very basic need that we need to push and aim for better empirical bioethics research. Next. And the bioethics for the community, we plan to advance the development of bioethics consultation services, which we already provide for the clinicians at the hospital at the request basis. And then we are going to work on the community education through public accessible bioethics information and discussion platforms, and advocate for stateless and vulnerable community, because we believe this is really where the population which needs to be helped in amplifying their voice and then being supported in their life. And the fourth area for bioethics institution sustainability, we really wish to be able to do a lot of capacity building of faculty members. I'm running out of time. I will be quick. This is probably the last slide. Capacity building for faculty members is a very pressing need. We need more bioethics experts here in Indonesia, and we would like to initiate bioethics professional society and formal recognition, so that we have some sort of community where we can exchange ideas between bioethicists or ethicists or ethics practitioners. And then we would also optimize our flagship program. And then, of course, we cannot leave behind to find the mechanism to support the funding or financial for the bioethics development sustainability. And so we are currently at the stage of moving towards the agreement signing between UNESCO and the university. And we are not worried at all with this, because this is going to take time, but we are going to get there, and we have already get the support from everybody, so we are very thankful. I think I will end the presentation now. I will return to the moderator. Thank you for the opportunity, Prof. Rika, Prof. Yati, and all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rika and Prof. Yati, for the very, very interesting and very important points that you have just mentioned. On 4 years' time, what are you planning to do in education, research, and community, and will work together with UNESCO at national level for capacity building, but also at the Asia Pacific region. I would like now to invite the discussants. There are two discussants in this session. Professor Dr. Insinyur Jagal Wiseso Marseno, Master of Agriculture. He is the Vice Rector for Education, Learning, and Student Affairs, Universitas Gadjah Mada.
Good morning.
Good morning, Professor Jagal.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your special time. I know everybody have known you, but I should read a little bit about your short curriculum vitae. Professor Jagal was in charge as the Dean, the Vice Dean, Faculty of Agriculture in 2008 until 2012, and also has a lot of experience as a Deputy of Strategic Studies at the National Resilience Institute of the Republic of Indonesia, 2014 and 2017. But he has also a lot of experience in the field of biopolymer science and technology, especially on modified and synthesis of carbohydrate polymer. So I would like to invite you to give about 10 minutes for for this session. Please, Professor Jaga.
Thank you, Prof. Rika. Good morning to everybody, and thank you to Professor Byron, Professor Mary, Professor Bambang Suhendro, and Prof. Yati, Prof. Narto, Prof. Rika, Prof. Odeli, and Dr. Joko, Professor Sismindari, Professor Ardianto, the Dean and Vice Dean, and all of the participants. Can you hear me, Professor Rika? Hello?
Very clearly.
Very clear, Prof.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the time, and thank you as well to Professor Yati Sunarto and team for the inspiring presentation. There are several things that I would like to highlight, especially in relation to the bioethics program in higher education. Yeah, bioethics is very important because of its function as a science to sustain life and focus on the use of biological science to improve the quality of life. Bioethics is also a combination of biological knowledge with knowledge of human value systems. On the other hand, bioethics also function as a bridge between science and the humanities, helping humanity to remain safe and sustainable, and perfecting the world to be more civilized. One of the main objectives of the UNESCO chair in bioethics program, as we have seen from the presentation, is to accelerate the growth of bioethics in higher education. This goal shall be achieved in UGM through at least 4 policies. The first one is strengthening of capacity building of bioethics education in Indonesia Medical and Health School. The second one, promoting and integrating bioethics education for various disciplines. And the third one is we have to make a strong regulation on bioethics in higher education. The fourth is internationalizing the bioethics master program at Universitas Gadjah Mada. Let me begin with putting up the relevance and importance of bioethics in different disciplines. While it is true that new discoveries made in science and technology nowadays provide us with convenience, they also pose profound ethical, legal, and social implications that should be carefully navigated. Bioethics allow us to examine the issues and determine what the right ethical choice might be. This capacity to identify ethical issues and use commendable reasoning to academically and scientifically discuss, evaluate, and propose them is highly valuable and should be acquired by all students, faculty members, and staff, regardless of their discipline. The idea to promote and incorporate bioethics education for various disciplines at the university level should be therefore be prioritized and supported. Universitas Gadjah Mada consists of 18 faculties, 2 schools, and 265 study programs. And while this diversity can be challenging, the transdisciplinary nature of bioethics will actually accommodate them. Of course, this is not to diminish the significance of the strengthening of bioethics education in medical and health school itself. Within Universitas Gadjah Mada, bioethics curriculum and practice have been extensively developed at the Faculty of Medicine, Public Health and Nursing. It is high time for us to expand and open more rooms to discussion and collaborative work with other health schools across Indonesia. It is also worth mentioning that bioethics has been a flagship program at Universitas Gadjah Mada since 2015, which then brought for the birth of bioethics master program at the postgraduate school. Although the program has just started in 2018, the interest and the number of applicants keep growing from various disciplines, accentuating the necessity and importance of bioethics even more to public domain to accommodate an even wider space and needs internationalization. Hello, sorry. Yeah, internationalization of bioethics master programs through fostering global partnership and adapting international standardization is an inevitable leap we have to take and prepare for. These noble dreams can only be achieved by a strategic plan that includes harnessing strong commitment, collaboration, and the rigorous development of resources and curriculum, all of which can hopefully be facilitated and realized by becoming UNESCO chair in bioethics. As the government institution, Universitas Gadjah Mada is dedicated to facilitate and lead the initiative together with the Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities. Thank you again to Professor Yati Sunarto and team for your inspiring presentation. Thank you, Prof. Ika. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Jagal, for the
Thank you.
Excellent speak. And the second discussion is we invite Professor Candice Retno. She is currently Vice Dean of Academic Affairs in the Faculty of Medicine, Public Health and Nursing, Universitas Gadjah Mada. Because of the limited time, I will not read all the CVs, but one thing catches my eyes is the last paragraph of your CVs that you already are speakers in hundreds of national and international workshop and seminars. This is one true things about Prof. Candice that we already knew. And we would like to hear about your inputs, Prof, on our program. And as usual, we would like to hear your challenge also to us in bioethics on how we should go through the UNESCO chair on bioethics program. As a medical educators experts, we believe that you will have lots of ideas on how we should run this program. To Prof. Candice, please, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azid. First of all, I would like to thank to Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities that have invited me to join this such a valuable meeting. And I also want to congratulate as well for stunning accomplishment because it's already been granted status as UNESCO chair. So congratulations for the leadership from Professor Sunarto, Professor Yati, Professor Rika, and all the team at the Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities, as well as all partner, local, national, and international partners. Because this is less than 10 minutes, I have 3 slides. Would you allow me to present using those 3 slides? Is it visible?
Clearly visible.
Thank you. So as presenting by Dr. Wika so clearly that within the UNESCO chairs project, there are 4 focus, and I will not repeat again, but to support those kind of focus or aims during the next 4 years, I would like to try to recall and reflect the very rich and long-standing contribution from Center of Bioethics and Medical Humanities given to the faculty as well as to university and also to wider communities. Obviously, it's really challenging for me to put all the rich and long-standing contribution within one slide, and it's impossible. So I just try to highlight the scope of the rich and long-standing contribution. The first is the contribution from the center to our undergraduate program. So during our previous curriculum, the people, the staff from the Center of Bioethics and Medical Humanities worked so hard to develop bioethic topic inserted into our curriculum, and currently until now it's already went through 3 types of curriculum development for bioethics. The first, when our curriculum have a special block for bioethics, and then the current curriculum that still exists until now, that we still use until now, the bioethic content inserted within the block of our curriculum. And then for the next curriculum, the new curriculum, we are currently under developing new curriculum. Bioethic content will be as a longitudinal content. The Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities also contribute to develop elective block. It's not mandatory. Student can take it or not. And at least we have several elective block from CBMH, like Human Enhancement Technology, Green Healthcare Challenge, Stories in Medicine, Digital Age Doctors. And for the postgraduate, the center also having a program that is integrated clinical bioethic and classic program, our classic program. Then also they have a clinical bioethics session for new residents. So every new resident, there is an induction course where clinical bioethics session is one of the content that they have to follow. Then within our Magister of Health Professional Education, there are also modules developed by a colleague from Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities is about how to teach bioethics and professionalism. And obviously also doing supervision of doctoral program as well. Within our faculty, we have what we call as professional behavior committee, and the central role of Center of Bioethics and Bioethics and Medical Humanities in this committee is very, very strong. This committee provides guideline, educational media, staff development, also routine managing professional behavior misconduct that may be done by our student, teachers, supporting staff, and also provide relevant program to revise those misconducts. Obviously, also the center doing great research and also info, participate in research ethic committee, promoting research ethic, as well as doing collaborative research in several focus of discipline. Besides that, for services, the center also provide consultation of clinical ethic, conducted many years for health courses, and we know that the participant is always very enthusiastic year by year from one course to another course. Also routine Wednesday meeting, and as well as dissemination of bioethic for wider public. Obviously, there are still many things that's done, but at least those can highlight the area, the main area that the center has worked so hard, contribute greatly to our institution. So we do believe that the aim to accelerate bioethic development under the program, the project of bioethic chair will be achieved with the support from all our partner. And here I try to see some opportunities, some areas that perhaps could be incorporated within the project of UNESCO chair. So the first is about teaching bioethic, the fundamental, the foundation, the principle value of bioethic. We know that in Indonesia there are more than 90 medical school and also another higher institution that need for this kind of module or topic that should be taught. But we also know that there are limited person that be able to deliver that. And also geographically, it's not quite easy. But learning from pandemic as well, that online learning can be done. So one of what I think for the project that perhaps can be incorporated is that forming small team and then try to develop core module that obligatory, mandatory, must be followed by a medical student, but the delivery can be done more centrally. So for example, not only from one central, but for example, can be divided into six regions, like the region of Association of Medical Faculty Institution that have 6 regions. So for example, the core module is similar, but the delivery can be centrally and can be followed by the student through distance learning program. Previously, Mr. Irakli already mentioned so clearly that the core principle and value of bioethic curriculum perhaps similar, but because the application in the different context, it can be adapted, although the values and the principle is still similar. So if this team can decide what kind of material content that must be achieved by all medical students, it will be beneficial for all medical school in Indonesia. And for postgraduate, of course, it can be working with the specialist college, and also for continuing medical education, working with ED, Indonesian Medical Association, like what we're going to observe a few minutes later. And then there is also opportunity in our country so far, because the Ministry of Education already declared a policy called Merdeka Belajar, Kampus Merdeka. Although the health field is exemption for allowing the student to take until 3 semesters to take the course in different study program, or even in different university, or even in different country using various method. But we understand that there are space that can be done in medical and health professional education as well. So, for example, the elective module that had been developed by the center earlier also can be offered to wider student, not only for student within Faculty of Medicine, Public Health and Nursing, or within Universitas Gajah Mada, but even wider to any student in Indonesia or in beyond Indonesia. And there are also some platform that can support, like at faculty we have GAMEL, at university we have ELO, at national level the ministry also provide platform like SPADA. The other focus that I mentioned within the project of UNESCO chair is empower wider community. So I would like to share as well that I think during the pandemic there are so many ethical issues that lay people also want to know. And this is opportunity to empower community as well. And we are fortunate because within the faculty led by Dr. Meneni, we developed a TV channel called as Ina Health channel. And within university also having UGM channel. I understand that for Ina Health, for example, until today, it's already have 4 million viewers and 50,000 subscribers. So this is the platform that perhaps also can help the project under UNESCO chair to empower wider community regarding ethical issue. The last actually already mentioned by Dr. Azid in previous presentation. I also have several magister students that doing thesis focusing on bioethics, but it's not always easy to find where they want to submit to certain journal, special journal that focus on bioethics, because the number I think is still limited, especially in our country. So if under the UNESCO chair, the team also can develop national journal for bioethics, it will be a platform from a dissemination further about bioethics to a more specific communities. Obviously, all those things can be achieved more easily if there is a partnership with local, national, international bioethic networking communities, as well as strategic partner that today all of them support the center and also have a long-standing collaboration, fruitful collaboration that also contribute to the stunning accomplishment having granted status as UNESCO chairs for bioethics. I think that's all my response regarding the inspiring presentation from Professor Yati Sunarto and Dr. Wika for accelerating bioethic development in Indonesia and Asia Pacific region. Again, congratulations. We learn a lot from all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Gandes. It's a wonderful pointers that you have just mentioned. And there are some questions arise. Maybe first from Dr. Peter. To what extent the bioethics education should be implemented in non-medical disciplines? And then the next questions come from Pak Teguh to Prof. Yati. How CBMH UGM now sees its international role, at least across Asia Pacific region, especially in your position as UNESCO chair on bioethics. And then, oh yeah, this is the first is for thank you very much, but Peter, with your very good questions that also come into my what is it, my thought that to what extent bioethics issues should be implemented in non-medical disciplines. Yeah, as we all know that it is not easy, so it will be answered by our team, I believe, non-medical disciplines. But yeah, actually, because medical and faculty of medicine or medical doctors never work in non-teamwork. We always work with non-doctor, even non-medical, because the goal of the doctor to dealing with patients is not only medical problems but environment. I think we all realize it, and also that since the so that's why the bioethics teaching is also at the same policy or uh, other disciplines in medical school, other field. So we started from the very beginning, very early, and in trust discipline within the medical school, so that in a teamwork. So that's why should be implemented uh, in from the very beginning to all discipline which work inside the teamwork in the medical schools. And even in non-medical school, we have started to work together and together with all of our colleagues from other faculties and other schools. And I'm inviting our colleagues, my Vika, my youngest, but I believe that she has maybe her own thought, and then others. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Yati. Maybe Prof. Yati would like to also answer the next question, or should we address this first? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity, Prof. Yati. And the moderator, I request the permission to continue on the points that Prof. Yati has raised. It's very important. We believe for our field of work, especially in health and medicine, we already acknowledge and we are aware that solving health medical problem cannot be approached from only biological and health or medicine expertise. So we are first-hand witness that we need to approach and learn from other perspectives and with different experts. And so the idea that Prof. Yati has also raised is that in order for us to be able to communicate with the same language, we believe with bioethics principles and with bioethics concepts, that needs to be somehow be the bridge or the place where different expertise could interact. So I think that's really the main idea why we really want to push forward. We are looking for friends to work together and help us solve so many complicated problems. So that's really the basic idea in my personal opinion. But then the practical or the pragmatic answer to the question from Dr. Peter is really what we are seeking to understand as well. Like what extent the curriculum needs to be integrated into other schools, the non-medical schools. That's really part of our aim, that we want to understand the need and also the context in different disciplines related to the dilemma and ethical problems, because we believe the language of bioethics refers to not just medical or clinical ethics, but we believe it also encompasses the different area of discipline that is related to the biological or living creatures in this universe. So it would also encompass the environmental ethics and the social ethics and policy ethics, business ethics. So there are so many areas that bioethics could be the place for interaction. So really the answer to that will be, we also hope to get the answer to the bottom of that during our project in UNESCO chair on bioethics. So I guess that's really just my idea and my understanding. So I returned. Oh, this is from but different questions. So maybe Prof. Nato would like to comment. So I will hand over to Prof. Nato for another comment.
Yeah, it is not easy, but I would like to make it easy. For example, in the presence of respect, respect for others, it's mean not only respect among human, but also human and animals, and also human and plantation, and also human and environment. In this case, I think all of the faculties should start with the bioethic education, not only in health, but also in, for example, faculty of animal, yeah, and also in agriculture, for example. That is an example that we can see the importance of our student, even our teachers, to know the bioethic related to human, related to animals, related to agriculture, and also to environment. Yeah.
One more question, maybe Prof. Anto from Dr. Teguh. Prof. Yati.
Thank you, Pak Teguh. Your question is related to how CBMH UGM what is sees international role in your position as the only UNESCO chair in bioethics for the region. Yeah, as far as know that even the UNESCO Jakarta, Dr. Irakli, I think, just stated that for a moment, the region of Asia Tenggara, or maybe more, is in CBMH UKM. But if it is wrong, I think, Pak Teguh, do you see that the UNESCO chair not only in UGM but also in the other centers or other universities in Asia? Maybe you can explain to us if you see that. So it is very sorry.
Yeah, Dr. Vika will add because she is presenting.
Well, but this is actually addressed to Prof. Yati. Prof. Teguh is missing Prof. Yati to question to lovely Prof. Yati. So maybe it's just my personal opinion. Maybe going back to our objectives for accelerating the bioethics development in the Asia Pacific region, we believe in our discussion, we believe that what we have done so far, and we have gained so many friends and partners. So we, with this UNESCO chair, we believe that it could provide the home or the forum for us to really strengthen the connection. So I don't know, maybe some may call it leadership, but then what's more important is really to work hand in hand, and then we do now have the formal place or forum or project to actually grounded our partnership, working on something tangible and with output. So I think that's really the idea why this UNESCO chair is somehow a breath of air, fresh air for our efforts, is because we now have the tangible a place project to request for partnerships and commitment from our other colleagues and collaborators. And just a little bit, just across my mind, it's really relevant to Dr. Peter's question. We cannot yet provide, I have mentioned, we cannot yet provide the extent of the practical, how far should be the bioethics education implemented in non-medical. But what we know, what we need is that at least we need to get the dialogue going. So whatever the education or curriculum will be for the non-medical disciplines, the aim is to really have this mutual understanding and mutual language in discussing the dilemmas that arise from the science and technology development and the dynamics of the society. So that's really is the bigger idea about the practicality, about the methods, the strategies that we will work on during our course of UNESCO chair. So I guess that's all my point, in my personal opinion.
Thank you, Dr. Vika, and thank you, Pak Peter. I think in addition to Dr. Vika, actually will be a good answer also from Pak Irakli. Why UNESCO chair? Why UNESCO, what is that? What is that? Accepted our proposal to be a UNESCO chair. That actually, so I would like to invite Pak Irakli to add our answer. Thank you very much.
Mr. Irakli, are you still with us? If you're willing to provide some short response, or because we also have limited time as well. Apparently, Mr. Irakli is not here.
I'm sorry, because time is up. So I would like to give it back to the facilitator, Puspa. Please, thank you very much. And please give applause for this discussion and speakers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the speakers, discussants, and also the moderators for the session. It was very, very insightful, and we deeply hope that this initiative can begin and will be in motion very soon. And for that, we also would like to fortify and build a commitment from all of you who have joined us today to support the establishment and the running of the UNESCO Chair in Bioethics of Universitas Gadjah Mada. Okay, for the last segment for the first session of today's event, we will listen together to the launching of the Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities and the Indonesian Association of Indonesian Physicians atau Ikatan Dokter Indonesia. The collaboration on clinical ethics training for Indonesian physicians. Joining us on the session are Pak Dr. Trijoko Hadianto, DTMH MKes, and Bapak Nur Azid Mahardinata MD from the Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities. We also have here Pak Dr. Joko Murdianto, anesthetist, Master of Public Health, the Chair of Association of Medical Doctor Indonesia atau IDI, Yogyakarta. And we also have Dr. Broto Wasisto, DTMH, Master of Public Health, the Chair of FK-KMK, the Association of Medical Doctor Indonesia. Kepada ketiga pembicara, kami persilakan. Apakah sudah bersama kami semua?
Ya, sudah.
J. Baik. J, selamat datang. J, selamat datang. Welcome. For the first session, we will have Pak Trijoko, Pak Dr. Trijoko dan Pak Azid. Pak Trijoko, Dr. Trijoko is a lecturer in medical parasitology, Sun Philosophy, Medical Ethics, Hospital Ethics and Regulation at Universitas Gadjah Mada. He was also a secretary of the Department of Medical Education from 2001 to 2004, chair Curriculum Committee from 2013 to present time, and also the chair of Universitas Gadjah Mada's vocational school in midwifery from 2017 to 2018. Monggo kami persilakan kepada Dr. Trijoko dan Dr. Azid untuk right, maybe a little introduction on Dr. Azid as well.
No need.
Okay.
Dr. Trijoko, please, time is yours.
Oke, baik. Alhamdulillah kita bisa bertemu di sini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang akan kita lakukan ini adalah hasil dari kita Medical Humanities, Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities UGM yang bekerja sama dengan IDI atau Ikatan Dokter Indonesia wilayah DIY, Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta. Kita menyebut memberi judul pelatihan ini adalah update etika klinis dengan pendekatan health bagi dokter. Program pengembangan ini adalah program pengembangan pendidikan keprofesian yang berkelanjutan atau continuing professional development bidang bioetika. Tujuan yang kami pikirkan adalah meningkatkan kualitas dari pelayanan kesehatan secara keseluruhan untuk dokter-dokter di DIY, Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta. Nomor 1, kita meningkatkan kemampuan dalam mengenali pemecahan masalah etika, moral, dan hukum. Maaf, mungkin bisa ditayangkan, Mas Azid.
Tempat kami masih tertayang.
Oh, sudah ditayangkan. Baik. Kedua, mampu menerapkan berbagai strategi pemecahan masalah, dilema etik dalam pelayanan kesehatan yang sesuai dengan situasi dan kondisi kasus yang ada tanpa kehilangan unsur humaniora, etik, legal, dan profesionalisme. Ketiga, mampu merencanakan penyelesaian sengketa hukum dengan tepat dan meminimalkan risiko tuntutan hukum. Nomor 4, memiliki kemampuan untuk membuat argumentasi dan kesimpulan etik terhadap dilema etik yang dapat digunakan dalam pengelolaan kasus yang serupa di masa yang akan datang. Problem yang ada adalah ketidakpahaman atau bahkan kekurangmampuan dokter-dokter untuk merespon potensi masalah-masalah etik dengan benar, dan ini akan memungkinkan terjadinya tuntutan etik dan hukum dari pasien atau keluarganya. Maka itu dibutuhkan pelatihan untuk peningkatan kemampuan dokter dalam mengenali, mendiskusikan, dan menyelesaikan dilema etik dalam pelayanan kesehatan. selama beberapa tahun atau satu dekade terakhir ini, CBMH telah mengembangkan pendekatan dalam melakukan diskursus terhadap permasalahan etik dengan metode health, humanities, ethics, legal, dan professionalism. Dan ini pendekatan yang komprehensif. Pendekatan ini pula yang akan digunakan dalam pelatihan kerjasama dengan IDI ini. Dengan adanya pelatihan bioetika dengan pendekatan health bagi aktivis dokter ini, kami berharap dapat meningkatkan kesadaran serta membentuk perilaku etis dan taat hukum dari para dokter hingga dapat memberikan pelayanan yang bermutu yang melindungi pasien dan dokter itu sendiri. Kemudian akan dilanjutkan oleh Dr. Azid Mahardinata. Silakan Dr. Azid.
Terima kasih Dr. Trijoko. Ya, pelatihan ini diharapkan, setelah mengikuti pelatihan ini diharapkan bahwa seluruh dokter yang mengikuti akan memiliki kemampuan untuk identifikasi hingga kemudian nanti mampu menyelesaikan masalah etik baik individu maupun kemudian secara institusional. Setelah itu juga kami harapkan karena bioethics ini masih dalam perjuangan yang terus-menerus untuk agar bisa dikenali oleh lebih banyak orang dan diikuti oleh banyak orang, maka diharapkan bahwa seluruh peserta setelah mengikuti pelatihan akan komited untuk kemudian terus meningkatkan kapasitas personalnya dan juga kapasitas institusi untuk bisa mendorong perkembangan bioetika. Di dalam pelatihan ini nantinya kita menggunakan beberapa strategi yang nantinya akan kita coba terapkan. Kami sudah melakukan ke beberapa komunitas terbatas dan insya Allah ini akan bisa lebih dilaksanakan dengan lebih baik di kemudian hari. Untuk menghadapi pandemi ini, maka kami menyiapkan platform online untuk seluruh peserta pelatihan ini nantinya, tidak hanya nanti dengan menggunakan apa yang sudah disediakan oleh UGM, yaitu dengan ELO, salah satu sistem online, platform online yang disediakan oleh UGM khususnya untuk seluruh masyarakat agar bisa mendapatkan ilmu pengetahuan secara terbuka, tetapi juga kami akan menggunakan beberapa online platform lain yang saat ini sedang banyak-banyaknya digunakan. Itu tidak hanya Zoom atau Webex, tapi juga kita menggunakan kuliah berdasarkan WhatsApp. Nanti akan kita desain dan kita jelaskan lebih lanjut di waktu yang akan datang. Kemudian pelatihan ini juga bersifat time flexible, sehingga para peserta akan bisa lebih mengikutinya sesuai dengan waktu yang dimiliki. Kemudian pelatihan ini juga akan menyediakan books and journal reading, sehingga nanti para seluruh peserta akan bisa mengikuti perkembangan terakhir di bidang-bidang ilmu bioetik yang menjadi interestnya masing-masing. Setelah itu ada 3 kegiatan ilmiah yang kemudian akan dilakukan. Kegiatan dalam pelatihan yang akan dilakukan. Pertama adalah ethical discourse yang akan kita guide langsung secara sinkronus online bersama antara kami para facilitator dengan peserta secara langsung. Kemudian juga kita akan membuka untuk konsultasi dan diskusi terkait dengan permasalahan etik yang seringkali muncul dalam era-era terakhir ini. Beberapa hal yang cukup menarik kemarin kami terima sebagai tema konsultasi adalah bagaimana dokter seharusnya, karena bidang kami di emergency medicine misalkan, apakah CPR harus dilakukan pada pasien yang datang di IGD yang kita tidak tahu status COVID-nya, begitu apakah kemudian harus dilakukan atau tidak, bagaimana kalau kemudian melakukannya, bagaimana juga dengan ketika situasinya semuanya serba minimal, apa yang harus dilakukan, hal-hal seperti itu yang kemudian kami terima dan kami coba bahas bersama di center dan juga beserta dengan para praktisi. Nah, ini akan harapannya dengan konsultasi and discussion ini berjalan dengan baik, maka nanti akan muncul berbagai guideline yang bisa digunakan secara bersama-sama. Setelah itu juga pelatihan ini nantinya akan ditutup dengan simulasi bagaimana selama ini dokter harus mempersiapkan diri, baik fisik maupun mental, menghadapi pengadilan baik etika dalam sengketa dilema etik maupun sengketa hukum. Ini akan kita bekerja sama dengan Magister Hukum Kesehatan yang ada di UGM. Ada 3 kelompok materi yang kemudian akan bisa dinikmati bersama, yaitu compulsory basic, ada yang basic wajib dasar, wajib lanjutan, dan elektif, yang ini nanti akan bisa dipilih sesuai dengan interest dari masing-masing peserta. Berikut adalah beberapa tema dari compulsory basic yang bisa diikuti. Dari perkembangan bioetik itu seperti apa yang kami maksud dengan pendekatan help, kemudian bagaimana kondisi realnya di Yogyakarta. Jika ini nantinya kemudian dengan di pusat juga, maka kita juga ingin berbagai materi guidance dari MKEK untuk kondisi real sebenarnya masalah etika hukum profesionalisme di Indonesia itu seperti apa begitu. Kemudian kita juga akan bicara tentang basic medical ethics karena kita berpikirnya adalah bahwa jangan sampai dokter-dokter kita berpikir bahwa setelah disumpah maka automatically akan kemudian menjadi seseorang yang memiliki kemampuan berpikir etik. Gitu. Karena etika adalah sebuah ilmu, maka dia harus dipelajari metode berpikirnya dan diperkuat metode cara strategi pemecahan masalahnya. Nah, itu yang ingin kami gali lebih lanjut. Kemudian refreshment dari ODG akan kita berikan, kemudian juga bagaimana strategi-strategi untuk memecahkan masalah etika dan hukum, serta bagaimana nanti sebagai individu kita menghadapi berbagai masalah. Lanjut. Untuk compulsory advance, ada beberapa isu yang akan menjadi target utamanya. Yang pertama, pembahasan utamanya, yaitu improving capability to conduct effective and humanistic communications, kemudian cultural competence, overcoming patients' complaint, ethics in emergency, dan seterusnya. Kemudian sebagai elektif, yang ini masih akan terus berkembang, adalah bagaimana dokter akan bisa mendiskusikan tentang etika di awal kehidupan hingga nanti etika di akhir kehidupan, serta juga berbagai masalah etika terkait dengan isu-isu mutakhir saat ini, COVID, atau kemudian juga bagaimana menghadapi skariosis ketika pandemi dan lain-lain. Itu yang akan menjadi berbagai macam isu yang akan kita diskusikan lebih lanjut nanti di dalam pelatihan, dan semoga tema-tema ini cukup menarik dan nantinya akan kita gali lebih lanjut dari training of trainers yang akan kita lakukan di awal fase pelatihan ini, menggali masalah lebih jauh, lebih real, sehingga pelatihan ini tidak hanya menambah SKP saja begitu istilahnya, tetapi juga nantinya akan betul-betul bermanfaat untuk peningkatan kualitas pelayanan kesehatan pada masyarakat Indonesia. Demikian dari kami.
Baik, terima kasih kepada Dr. Trijoko dan Dr. Azid. Thank you to you both. Selanjutnya, saya akan mempersilakan kepada pembicara selanjutnya, yaitu Pak Dr. Joko Murdianto, spesialis anestesi, Master of Public Health. Beliau merupakan ketua dari Ikatan Dokter Indonesia Cabang Yogyakarta. Kepada Pak Dr. Joko, kami persilakan.
Terima kasih. Suara saya terdengar, Mbak?
Ya.
Oke. Nah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang dan salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Yang saya hormati Direktur Pusat Bioetik dan Kedokteran Humaniora, Fakultas Kedokteran, Kesehatan Masyarakat dan Perawatan Universitas Gajah Mada, Profesor Dr. Yati Sunarto, PhD, Profesor Dr. Sofia Mugareka, PhD, selaku Ketua Panitia pada acara ini, Profesor Dr. Sunarto, SPSTHT, konsulen yang dari waktu ke waktu saya selalu belajar kepada beliau, Dr. Broto Wasisto, MPH, selaku Ketua MKK Pusat yang dalam hal ini mewakili pengurus besar Ikatan Dokter Indonesia, para narasumber baik dari dalam maupun luar negeri, dan para partisipan yang saya muliakan. Pertama, tentu kita bersyukur kepada Allah karena bisa hadir dan berpartisipasi dalam acara The 7th Anniversary of the Center of Bioethics and Medical Humanities, Faculty of Medicine, Public Health and Nursing.